get started. So date 27 September 2024 and time is this. So today we would be talking about the course overview, what this course would be having, what things you are going to learn, what tools we are going to use, and what is the takeaway from this course. All those details we are going to talk about today. So that will help you in understanding what AI is exactly. And remember that this is the starting point of your AI career. This is the starting point of your AI career. Whenever you say AI, so we just a minute. Yeah. So whenever you talk about AI, it's a umbrella. This is the umbrella term, AI. Inside AI, there is something called as machine learning, where there are a lot of algorithms. Those algorithms will help you in designing the system that will actually predict. In a machine learning, there is one of the algorithm called as neural networks, which is fall under the category deep learning, of deep learning and neural networks. We are going to build the neural networks, which are the state of the art, which produces the state of the art models nowadays. So one of the example of that thing is ChatGPT. Well, under the deep learning, there is a one more sector which is a booming nowadays, a Gen AI. But this is all dependent on the deep learning. That is called as generative AI. And in Gen AI, you hear these terms ChatGPT, Gemini, LLMs are there. Gen AI means it is going to generate something from your given data. Like ChatGPT, take an example. You ask ChatGPT, give me the CSS code for rounded buttons. It is generating, provided that it is trained on some coding data or HTML data. And that's why when you talk about GPT, it is a generative pre-trained models. Generative pre-trained, this is very important. Generative pre-trained models, GPT. Okay, you have to have a training. Now, there is one more thing which is under the discussion right now, which is AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. So we talked about this thing, right? There is one more wing, AGI, like human-like intelligence, right? But this is under the discussion right now. People like OpenAI and Facebook says that we are working on it, but we don't know what's happening exactly, right? Now, why I explain this box? Your journey of the artificial intelligence should or must begin with the machine learning, right? It should begin with the machine learning concepts, where you will learn what exactly you need to do to reach to this LLMs. Now, you might see the Gen AI courses in the market, right? Remember that those, what kind of course you should select for a Gen AI. If you are a programmer and if you want to develop your own models, right, you should write the code. What I'm saying, you should write the code. Well, there are the courses. Now, what courses I categorize personally, I have also delivered training in this thing. So Gen AI trainings. So they ask you to teach the tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, right? Midjourney. There are many other tools are available. And there is another wing over here that you need to type the code. Type the code and create the systems. Create your own systems like ChatGPT. ChatGPT is, we cannot create ChatGPT technically. It requires billions of the dollars, right? So we can do, if we have that much money and if we have a lot of PhD researchers, then we can implement those things. But presently, individually, if you ask me, I cannot do that thing. ChatGPT is something big. But we can develop a smaller systems using the Gen AI, which are useful in your office, right? Which can solve your own problems. That is absolutely possible. No problem. ChatGPT is built on the whole internet data, right? 3% of book data is, so they have given that, I exactly don't know the figures, but they have given on what type of data set ChatGPT is trained. That is humongous, and it would be hardly possible for us to do that thing. It requires a lot of money. Okay, so ML, machine learning, we are talking about. So when you talk about the machine learning, it should start from the Python. It should start from what? Python. You should be expert in Python if you want to make your career. At the moment, the only programming language which is supported by most of the tools is Python, right? So if you want to make your career in AI, make sure that you will become expert in the Python. At the moment, we don't know in 3 or 4 years, coming 3 or 4 or 5 years, what happens. New programming language might come. So there is one of the programming language in discussion is Mojo. So this programming language might take over the Python, right? It might take over the Python, and that can be used in the future for the AI. But at the moment, it is like Python. It is like Python only. But something is different over here. Let's not talk about this right now. Okay. A lot of things are happening in the AI world. But the foundational things will remain same. No matter you will use Python or you will use Python or whatever any other programming language, right? You need to build the foundational ML concepts. So why I have selected Python over here? Because most of the tools in the market right now works with the Python. That's why. If in future new programming language comes, we will learn that thing, not a big deal. We should be flexible as a programmers. We shouldn't love any programming language or the framework, but the logic is the essence. Fine. Let's move ahead. After that, what you are going to learn? NumPy and Pandas. Now, what is that? NumPy and Pandas. So consider that you have tremendous kind of a data. You have huge amount of, you have Excel sheet, you have XLS with 1 lakh records. This video is getting watched by some abroad people also. So lakh is, you can say, Indian unit of measuring bigger data. Okay. So here you can say 1 lakh, which is equals to this much. This is the 1 lakh. You have this much records. Now you need to create an array of this much records. Now imagine how much memory space would be getting required over there. Are you getting my point? Hello? You there?
Yes.
Yeah. So whenever you are not speaking, requesting you to mute. Whenever I ask some questions, you can answer. So here you need to create. So I'll give you an problem statement. Whatever programming language you know, create an array, create an array which can hold which can hold this much records, 1 lakh records. You need to take efforts to create an array, manipulating that array, and managing that array. There are efforts, it's not the easy job. 1 lakh records, 2 lakh records, 3 lakh. So this number is approximate. You can presently have taken this approximate number, but n, this value of n can be 0 to infinity, whatever, ranges from 0 to infinity. Not infinity, we don't have that much, what you can say, we don't have that much hardware to handle the infinity right now. But this symbol can be, you can consider as huge amount of data, huge data, right? That can be huge data. How do you create that array? You need to write a separate project for this actually. And a group of smart people came together and they decided to solve this problem. That's the NumPy, right? So fundamental package for scientific computation in computing with the Python. Fast, versatile, the NumPy vectorization, indexing, broadcasting concepts are de facto standards of the array computing today. NumPy. So you need to become expert of this, right? So I have created one of the Instagram post also on this. If we can go to my profile, yeah, here also you will get to know. I have explained these things a little bit, right? If you are on Instagram, you can follow me. I keep updating the stuff over here as well. NumPy, pandas, and virtue. So this is the gist of whatever I'm explaining, right? Whatever I'm explaining right now, this is gist of that. But let's go in a detail. Why NumPy? I told you, a numerical computing tools offers the comprehensive mathematical functions, random number generators, linear algebra routines, Fourier transform, and more, right? So what problem NumPy is solving? That problem we have discussed over here. Matrix manipulation. So multiplication of the matrix, you, whatever programming language you would be having, at least you need to write 300-400 lines of code for the matrix multiplication and all the matrix operations. That has been solved by NumPy, and it is open source and getting tested over the years. The algorithms they have created are well much more performant than you are going to write, because this is the open source and contributed by a lot of people across the globe. So you can trust this library. Okay, so that's about the NumPy. So one more thing is there, pandas. Now what is this pandas? Pandas, panel data. So here this guy is going to handle the large amount of data. Now I want to perform analysis of that data. What we need to perform? I want to calculate the mean of something. I want to know how many rows are there, what type of data I am having. So first tool for the data analysis, right, is the pandas. One is handling, managing large amount of data. Another tool is giving you the descriptiveness of the data, what the data is having actually, the nature of the data. That is what the pandas does, and that's why you need to master these NumPy and pandas. You need to master these two libraries, right? So when you talk about the Python, this is highly important. When you talk about the NumPy pandas, data visualization, we'll see that these three should be your friends for whole life. As long as current system is there, as long as current libraries and other things are there, and you want to make your career in AI, NumPy, pandas, matplotlib, seaborn, they should be your good friends, right? They should be your good friends. Okay, now scikit-learn. Well, I'll see first. We'll see data visualization. So Python, we can write it over here. Python Python is what? A tool of AI, language of AI. Then NumPy, pandas, and matplotlib. There are other libraries also. Matplotlib, seaborn. So these three are very good friends. NumPy, data manipulation, large data manipulation. Pandas, data analysis. And these two people, there are many other libraries in this category, data visualization. Data visualization. And here one more career starts, that is the data science. Storytelling. So you are having a huge, consider the RBI bank, which is holding a data of whole India. And you need to identify the patterns in the data. You need to identify patterns in the data. These three libraries will help you a lot. Well, people go and use the paid libraries also, like Microsoft Power BI, but I personally go with the only open source things which are available free in the market, and a lot of people are working on the top of that. There are other tools also, open source tools are also available, but as a programmer, if you want to do the data analysis, these three should be your best friends. Matplotlib. See, a visualization with the Python. You can visualize. So here you understood the data. Here you analyze the data in a pandas. Here you manage the data. Now I want to visualize, because if you want to present some stats, you need some graphs, bar chart, pie chart, line chart, and that can be done in a matplot and seaborn. And what? Seaborn, a statistical data visualization tool. So these two things we are going to learn, right? Now this is, so this much things are required. Actually this much things are required, no matter you do Gen AI, no matter you do deep learning or machine learning. These, if you can remove the scikit-learn from here. So Python, NumPy, pandas, data visualization, exploratory data analysis. Okay, so these tools, 1, 2, 3, 4, these tools you need throughout your life. If you want to make a career in machine learning or artificial intelligence, first step is knowing your data. If you don't know your data, you cannot do anything. Mark my words, you cannot train the model, you cannot even write a single line of code of the AI. So Python, NumPy, Pandas, and the EDA. EDA is exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis. So here, see, become a data detective, sniffing the patterns in a data, connection. Now see, I will give you one example. You have analyzed a shopping mall data, and you need to suggest some things, and you are good data analyst, and you have identified that the people who buy milk, they are willing to buy eggs and you can say bread, BREAD. Pardon me for the spelling mistakes. So how do you come to the conclusion over here? So that shopping mall, what they will do, in a rack they will keep milk over here, and near to the milk they can keep eggs and they can keep the bread. But how do you come to the conclusion so that you are going to put in front of the mall management that people are buying milk, those people are buying milk are supposed or are willing to buy eggs and the bread together, so that you can arrange the racks in such a way that milk, egg, and bread you can keep together? How do you come to this conclusion? So you analyze the columns in your Excel sheet, right? Analyze the columns in the Excel sheet. The relationship between the columns you identified, right? You identify the patterns in the columns. What patterns are getting repeated? If you can say male is purchasing milk and men are purchasing milk and women are purchasing milk, this pattern is different. How do you analyze that? By looking at the data. And though this kind of thing, making the statistical overview, applying some stats related concepts on a data, what is the mean, what is the standard deviation, right? What is the standard deviation? All those things can be done under the EDA, exploratory data analysis, right? So no matter what you are learning, even you are not becoming the AI engineer, so Python, NumPy, Pandas, data visualization, exploratory data analysis, right? Python, NumPy, Pandas, data visualization, exploratory data analysis, that will help you forever in your life, no matter what. Okay. Any field in AI shall start from here, analyzing the data. Now in the organization, these roles are different actually. Some organizations, let's not make it rule to all. Some organizations are having separate data analysts, data analyst, and some are having AI engineers, separate AI engineers. But in a startup, if you go in a startup environment, so here in the big companies, what happens? Data analysts provide a ready-made data to the AI engineers. So AI engineers don't need to clean another thing with the data. So all these EDA and visualizations are performed by these data analysts, and they give a clean kind of data to the AI engineers so they can build the model. But in a small scale companies, this is you have to do data analysis. You have to do data analysis, right? You have to do visualization, and you have to train the models also. That is the AI job. So you can do whole things. You can call this as an AI engineer or full stack AI. Everything you are doing on your own. Getting my point? Hello?
Yes.
But This is very important. So if you ask me what is most important in this course, these three things are very important. Now comes machine learning concepts, right? Now, so here we are going to learn the machine learning concepts. What exactly machine learning is? What is the training data? What is the validation set? What is the test set? What are the iterations, right? What are different algorithms? Linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, naive Bayes, k-nearest neighbors, support vector machines. What are those things? We will understand those things in the ML basics in detail. And on the top of this machine learning concepts, a group of people came together and they have written a, a ready-made library, scikit-learn. Can you see? Simple and efficient tools for predictive data analysis, accessible to everybody, reusable in various contexts, built on the top of NumPy, SciPy, and Matplotlib. SciPy is another library, right, which is falling under the same category. Scientific Python, Matplotlib, open source, commercially usable BSD license. See, lot of algorithms they have implemented. Classification, gradient boosting, nearest neighbors, random forest, logistic regression, and more. See, these many algorithms they have ready-made implemented. Okay, these many algorithms have been implemented by default over the years. And they are ready to use to you. So whenever we learn the linear regression maths, I will show you linear regression maths. Let's go to the Wikipedia. So linear regression is a pure mathematical concept we have learned in the 12th standard, 11th, 12th, right? Now prediction of the points. So consider that you have a data of a data of what flats in Pune, rates of flats in Pune of past 10 years, area wise rates of flats in Pune in 10 years. Now I want to predict what would be price in the 2060. What would be the price of particular flat in 2060? That's what the prediction is. And this kind of prediction fits in the linear regression. This is the regression model, and we need to predict the price of flat in 2060 in particular area. At that time, this mathematical concept is required. If you see, it is a matrix manipulation, matrix multiplication. So you would be worried, oh, see, this is the equation, y is equals to mx plus c. You might have seen that equation of line. Y is equals to mx plus c, right, where m stands for slope, right, and c is a intercept, y intercept. Now we are going into the mathematical details of this thing. Okay, now these mathematical details are abstracted from you by the scikit-learn. Can you see? Y is equals to mx plus c. They have already implemented. So in a Python, you just need to call from sklearn import linear model regression is equals to linear model dot linear regression and give the array. That's it. It will internally do the mathematical calculation and it will predict for you. This much lines of code. So this whole algorithm is implemented. This whole algorithm is implemented, whatever this Wikipedia says, inside this inside this one of the class in a Python, linear regression. There are many decision trees are also there. Many stochastic gradient descents, kernel ridge regression. Many things are there, right? And you don't need to worry about that. So on this, I got one reel very much viral, that 1.48 lakh people have been seen this reel, AI roadmap. So here I have explained the way you learn AI, right? So here nowhere you will find the maths. Nowhere you will find what? Maths. With the deliberate intention, maths have been abstracted. Because if you start learning this thing in this machine learning course, right? This is not the AI course, but this is the 12th standard maths course, right? And it might demotivate you in the beginning. It might. That's what I explain in this reel. And that might demotivate you in the beginning. Okay. So maths is abstracted from this course. I would be having a separate course on the mathematics with the title Mathematics of the Machine Learning. I know the concepts, right? I'm doing this thing from last many years, but dedicated to the AI from last 5 years. Mathematics of machine learning. I would be having this separate course. But over here, it's not the right time. You would be demotivated. If you learn maths over here, first understand what is the AI. Then implement the AI. And then go back to the maths. So once you implement linear regression with the help of scikit-learn, once you implement what? Linear regression with the help of scikit-learn, go back to the maths of the linear regression over here. Go back to the maths of the linear regression over here and revisit the concepts of linear regression once again. But not here. That's the bad idea. And a lot of experts in the AI, they have suggested that even don't learn this thing. Derivatives, integration, probability, don't learn this thing right now. Not required. If you want to do some invention, like one of the formula we have, like, now there are a lot of mathematical terms like multinomial logistic regression, polynomial regression, general regression. Or if you think that few of the physics concepts can help you over here and I want to come up with my own paper, then you need maths. But to implement and develop the applications, you don't need maths in the beginning. But at the end, if you want to implement the paper, you need maths. But it will take time, not in the beginning. Okay, so that's what the scikit-learn is. Whatever algorithms, mathematical terms are abstracted from you, you just need to implement the things. You just need to see how to work with the support vector machines. They have explained the support vector machines also over here. So whatever graphs you see that are in matplotlib, so these things are developed in a matplotlib. So if you want to work with the svm, can you see a simple one liner of code, sklearn import svm? That's it. And here you will get the prediction. That's what we are going to see. Okay, so that's about the scikit-learn. Now, so building models. So here we are going to see how exactly things are working. So in the machine learning basics, we will talk about algorithms and the things. Now, how to build the models, where to get the data, how to train the models on that data, and how to select the algorithm and get the predictions. These are the steps. At the last, you have created a model for predicting the house prices. Now you need to save that model for the future uses. How do you exactly do that? Saving the model and using it in our React application, right? What that things are exactly that fall under the category of the ML ops. Deploy and manage the models like pro, ensuring they run smoothly and deliver the real world impact. ML ops, like a DevOps, there is a machine learning ops. So what things are there? What things are required to deploy the machine learning model? How to save machine learning model? And all other things related to the deployments are covered in the ML ops over here, which concludes the course. Python, NumPy Pandas, scikit-learn, data visualization, exploratory data analysis, ML basics, how to build the model, how to implement the algorithms, and ML ops in the end. Got it? So this is how things will work. Now what tools we are going to use to do all these things? So we are going to use Google Colab. It is the Jupyter kind of notebook where we are going to write the code, Google Colab. And we are also going to see how to make environment on your system. We can use the VS Code also. We are going to use VS Code as well. Installation of required libraries. Then here we can see Python Anaconda. So we are going to use this tool as well, Python Anaconda. But 90% of the time we would be using this Google Colab. What is this? We will talk about that. Don't worry. So tools, we are going to use these tools. Python Anaconda, Visual Studio Code, this thing. For the deployment, how we are going to deploy on the AWS and other things, that is also part of the course. And we will see that. Right. So this is all about the course content. Rest of the details are available on the WhatsApp. If you have still any confusion or questions, you can WhatsApp me, you can call me. Number is available here on the WhatsApp. So I explained this course and what is the takeaway. After this course, what you can do. Here in the course, we are going to implement one case study, live case study. Here in the project, we would be implementing one live case study. That case study you can showcase on your resume. You can upload everything. You can upload that to the Git also. So with respect to all this concept, we will implement one project. That's the case study. We will see what we would be implementing. Okay. Now, after this, whatever things are required for implementing machine learning model, this course will equip you with all those things. All those things would be with you. All the apparatus would be with you to implement a machine learning model in the future. That is the takeaway for you from this course. Also, I'm going to give you a certificate with my signature, right? That this guy have completed this course, and you can check the competencies on the GitHub. You need to upload everything on the Git. Okay. Even all the courses, all the sessions would be getting recorded like this, would be uploaded to the YouTube that are available in a public domain. As far as YouTube is running, that videos would be there. Okay. If you have any other queries, you can ask me. Just a minute. Okay. So we talked about this. Okay. Just a minute.